Normally when I acquire unlabeled VHS tapes, I do so through my own means, finding them at a thrift store or online auctions, and usually they're filled with home recordings of television broadcasts, which is all good fun, but it does get a little repetitive after a while. Today's lot of tapes, though, arrived to me in the mail, along with a mysterious note detailing that they were discovered in a high school trash can. This is exciting to me because it means that there's a good chance that these tapes will be different from the usual fare. If they're from a school, well, they could be teaching resources, they could be... well, I guess that's probably what they are, but still, it's a rare origin story which has me excited about the possibilities, so let's dive in. I'm your host, Ian MacMystery, and this is Mystery Tapes. Tape 1 is a plain-looking Maxell tape with a simple label that reads, Video Programs. I mean, that could be anything, really. What you're watching now is a video program. But it turns out that the label is quite literal, as this tape contains a series of programs that revolve around shooting home video.
Like any skilled artisan, you, the video cameraman, must first and foremost know your tools. It's not our intention to influence your personal preference in equipment. It is our intention to keep pace with evolution of home video technology.
It's not about how to operate the camera itself, though. This advice covers things like getting good lighting, making interesting framing choices, making sure the conditions are right for sound capture. It's essentially an entry-level film course that assumes its students are moms and dads that are out to capture their own personal memories.
The zoom lens, truly a marvelous invention. It can give you a long shot, a medium shot, or close-up, all without changing your position or lenses.
And look at this host. He's rocking a classic 70s stash and short shorts, and he just all around seems like a smooth operator.
When a tripod isn't convenient, snuggle up to whatever's handy. A fence, a tree, or your assistant.
This was a really cool and bizarre watch for me. I got my college degree in radio, TV, and film with a focus on the film side of things, and I'm not going to say that these guides are a total replacement for that experience, but there is a lot of really good information in here. The knowledge offered is way beyond what's required to film your family memories. In fact, when they do show someone following this advice to film a birthday party, he comes off looking like a fucking nut, trying to get the perfect lighting before anyone can have any fun. And just look at the camera they're using, dude. The telescoping mic is next level. Imagine waggling that thing back and forth during a shoot. Now, because the lessons are more about filming concepts and less about using a physical camera, they remain shockingly relevant and would be a very informative watch for anyone who's looking to get into video making in the modern era.
Beware of the merger. Lines or objects that cut through your subject as though the two were merging are a common background problem. They not only distract the viewer, but mergers also accent the two-dimensional quality of video and just plain don't look good.
I particularly enjoyed the section of the video that was about framing and action lines. They do a great job of explaining how to compose interesting shots.
The concept of leading lines is a handy device that takes care of that job in a most pleasing manner by leading the viewer to the subject.
The section on lighting is also really great. It does a solid job of explaining basic three-point lighting setup and how to adapt your lights based on your needs, and they even talk about bounce lighting, dude. Like, are you really gonna need to bounce light your daughter's graduation ceremony? Now, these lessons are split up into multiple parts, and unfortunately, only the first one is still fully intact. Part 2, which specifically focuses on lighting, has a really abrupt and shocking end that takes place when a woman is filming a small child.
Notice my position. Billy's right-handed, so I shot...
Billy is right-handed, so I shot him. I mean, that doesn't really seem like something you should murder over, but I guess if it'll make me a better videographer, then sure.
Billy's right-handed, so I shot...
The next section, which focuses on sound, ironically has the worst sound out of the whole tape.
Now, there are two basic microphone pickup patterns. Omnidirectional.
Some of it's completely muted, it's constantly fading in and out to random songs, and then things take another hard turn in the middle of a section about recording Foley.
To create the sound of rainfall, trickle salt or uncooked rice onto cardboard, cellophane, or into an empty can. You can create anything from a gentle rain to a full-blown downpour.
Ended relief.
Perfect name?
Hemorrhoids. The itch and pain can drive you crazy.
Is there a hemorrhoid epidemic in the 80s and 90s or something? I feel like I see so many hemorrhoid cream commercials when I capture these tapes. Now, you'll notice that suddenly we're watching a very large stage show, and there's a lot of crazy flashing shapes going on, and then suddenly Regis Philbin is there. Like, I think I can explain. Looks to me like whoever owned this tape also owned a device similar to this one. This device allows you to put digital effects onto an analog input like a camera or a VCR, and you can do it live. They're really cool. This guy's just testing out random effects while watching some sort of Miss America pageant, and it doesn't really seem like he was that big of a fan of the pageant, I'll be honest. The last section of video lessons is missing the intro, but it appears to be all about filming sports action, which is a skill in and of itself. Again, really crazy to see because at one point during college, I thought that's where my career might lead me, and they never taught me any of this shit.
Coach, in your opinion, where's the best position for shooting basketball action?
Well, gee, if it were me, I guess I'd stand behind the camera like Jim's doing up there. Obviously, I'm fascinated with these video lessons, so I had to try and figure out who made it or where it came from. There were no credits included, and on top of that, this is a copy of the original, so there's no information on the physical tape itself to send me in the right direction. All I had to go on were the production bumpers, but for some reason, searching KKK video programs didn't yield me the kind of results I was looking for. Oh, okay, well that makes sense. Cartes Video Communications apparently is best known for releasing a number of Peanuts TV specials on home video. I couldn't find a lot of information on this video series though. Most people just seemed interested in discussing the production bumpers that appeared on their Peanuts tapes. The only person offering any type of information was a small YouTube channel that had the first lesson of these programs uploaded. The uploader claims that this video series was handed out for free in the 1980s when you bought a video camera from Best Buy, which is just sick. That's so cool if true. It seems like only the first part of this video series has been saved anywhere, and the rest might have just been lost to time. And even though I have an incomplete version myself, and the video quality isn't fantastic since it's a copy, I'll upload what I do have over on the Mystery Tapes archive channel.
Next time you're taping your best girl, buffing her buggy, try this learning exercise.
Like I said before, a lot of this information is still relevant today, particularly in the first lesson, so anyone interested in video making should check it out.
Your best girl, huh?
Well, anyway.
Tape 2 is a Fuji cassette nestled safely inside a stylish Memorex cover that appears to be well used, to the point of being held together by strips of tapes at the bottom. Miracles by Design, 0-57 Min, the spine proudly declares, echoing another tape from this box. Could they be brothers? Both of these tapes contain the same episode of The Infinite Voyage, a documentary series that ran on PBS from 1987 to 1991. This episode, called Miracles by Design, is narrated by Leonard Nimoy, who you might know for his work in the film Kid Monk Baroni.
At Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois, researchers are using an innovative concept that may help the Newman Haas racing team.
This is a classic substitute teacher tape, just something to put on and occupy the attention of students while their science teacher is too busy with the three-point lighting setup at his son's birthday party to show up for work that day. This particular episode is talking about scientific advancements in the field of materials, covering things like superconductors, replacement limbs, and some other interesting glimpses into the future.
Don't be surprised if someday you are driving an automobile with an engine made from clay.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Leonard. I think that would surprise me quite a bit. Upon reflection, these types of TV documentaries are kind of like the original version of a YouTube video essay, but I've always found them horribly boring. They're just so dry, there's no personality, and there's hardly any complaining, so how am I supposed to relate to this? The car crashes in the first segment held my attention for a little while, but it wasn't long before I was so bored that I had to bail.
Bearing steel is one of the strongest alloys. Still, it breaks.
Oh wow, that's just fascinating. With those two out of the way, we're on to tape number 4, an unhoused Fuji tape that's simply labeled Trash Special. Quite a coincidence, considering that these tapes were found in a trash can. 321 Contact is another PBS show, though this one is clearly aimed at a younger audience, which makes it a lot more fun for me to watch, because I'm dumb just like a stupid idiot kid child is, and I need to be entertained if I'm gonna learn anything. This episode is called The Rotten Truth, and it's all about the different kinds of trash that humans produce. What is it? Where does it come from? Where does it go? Where does it come from, Cotton Eye Judge?
A typical family of 4 produces over 100 pounds of garbage in a week.
What, only 100 pounds of trash a week? That's child's play. Watch me do 200. This is a surprisingly engaging special filled with fascinating facts, animated segments, and plenty of footage of trash that you get to appreciate without actually having to smell it. And I gotta say, some of these kids have some pretty good ideas.
What would you do with your garbage if there were no more landfills?
They say that the light side of the moon gets really, really hot. So if you put the garbage there, it'll just disintegrate.
I'd burn it.
If you burn the garbage, some people can't breathe. Well, if anyone had an extra rocket ready, you could stick some garbage in a rocket and send it up to the sun and take some out of the landfills.
Anyone out there have an extra rocket laying around that we could fill up with garbage and shoot into the sun? Anybody? Elon? The biggest highlight of this program, though, happens near the end during a discussion about how wasteful product packaging can be.
Hey, I'm larger than ever, I'm bigger and better, I'm cute, I'm a beaut, I'm the rapper. You spend your buck, but you get stuck, cause you get less and you're left with a mess.
Rap, rap, rap. Don't let the rapper fool you.
And while it is catchy, I find myself wondering what the message of this song really is.
Rap, rap, rap. Don't let the rapper fool you. Rap, rap, rap. Don't let the rapper fool you.
Don't let the rapper fool me about what exactly? How am I, a hypothetical child watching this in school, to apply this lesson in my life? Am I supposed to not buy pencil if the packaging is too excessive? But what if I need pencil for school?
You rip them, you tear them, you throw them away, but the rapper is here to stay.
Well, that's gonna inspire some interesting porn. Not from the kids at school watching this tape, I mean from you guys. You fucking perverts. Well, I hope you enjoyed that section, because immediately following that fun-filled trash lessons are multiple, much more boring trash lessons. This first one is a frontline story about 2 brothers who ran a fraudulent waste disposal service where they illegally sold toxic chemicals to third world countries instead of properly disposing them.
Now, what do you want it to do? You want it to be buried in America, or do you want it to be sold in a third world country, so 2,000 tons less of that product is produced worldwide? Which would you prefer?
I'd burn it.
This one is actually pretty interesting story-wise, but the criminals just refuse to break into song, so I don't know how I'm supposed to watch this. There's also an episode of the documentary series Race to Save the Planet, which features a young Meryl Streep.
This episode of Race to Save the Planet is about waste.
They're still talking about trash. This tape really is loaded to the brim with various trash programs. I know this is a very important topic to discuss, but there's only so many hours of this that I can take. Look at this. The tape itself is giving up the longer I watch. The quality is just tanking. Let's just move on to the next one, shall we? The next tape is housed in a really slick plastic case. I love this thing. I can't really read the label on the outside except for the word Nova, but the label inside reveals its secrets. Superconductivity. Well, I'm sure this is just gonna be riveting.
Tonight on Nova, a breakthrough in a little-known field could revolutionize the way we use energy.
Unsurprisingly, this program is all about superconductors, which is a science concept that I must admit I'm unfamiliar with. I'm assuming it's a material that conducts electricity more than a regular material, but that's just a guess. And I'm making that guess after watching the full 1-hour program.
In a normal conductor, if we set up a current going around in a loop, the impurities in the sample would slow down the flow of electrons.
It's not that they don't try to explain superconductors, it's just that I don't care, and I'm dumb, so I didn't retain any of the science jargon.
Here, the dancers as electrons flow down a normal conducting wire. They bump against obstacles, the white objects on the dance floor.
Now, to give them credit, they did try and dumb down the concept enough for people like me to digest by coming up with an interpretive dance routine to explain just what a superconductor is, but I think this part just left me even more confused.
If you came to the dance late and saw all these people dancing, you would see partners overlapping, pairs, couples overlapping, and the whole thing would be very chaotic.
I will say that this tape had some pretty cool graphical animations, but for the most part I found it pretty dull. Maybe I'd have a different opinion on it if I knew what the fuck they were talking about, but that's just not the life we're living in.
And so he goes like an eye doctor that compares it with better or worse, better or worse.
So let's move on and check out this Fuji tape, and well, why don't you just take a guess about what this one is gonna be, huh? This one isn't so much of a mystery tape as it is a WYSIWYG tape, but I gotta check it out anyway just in case there's some commercials. I have never seen the film Major League, though I can easily envision the movie's poster with the baseball and the mohawk. It seems like a fine baseball movie, but I'm not really interested in watching it today. But I will say that out of all the tapes we've seen from this box so far, this one ranks pretty high on the list of things that I'd actually want to watch in class.
Look at this fucking guy.
No commercials on this tape though, so for now, it's on to the next one. Impacts of tech on today's education seemed to hold a lot of promise. I mean, that is an interesting sounding topic, especially considering how old these tapes are. But aside from a very catchy theme song that unfortunately I can't play much of because of copyright, there's just not that much here. M. James Benson, the Dean of School of Industry and Technology, captivates a crowd of about 2 as he talks about, you know, technologies or whatever.
So you look at the infiniteness of our capability of doing things. It just sort of staggers the mind.
Ironically, this presentation about technology could have really benefited from some additional technologies in the presentation. I love the projector, but I'm not able to read anything that it projects.
This evolution of technology we see illustrated by Mumford quite well in this kind of a situation.
He does finish off his speech with a poem about frogs in a cream bowl, though, so that's something.
What is the moral? 'Tis easily found. If you can't hop out, keep swimming around. Thank you.
And the crowd goes wild. The big takeaway for me on this one is the theme music, of which I have located the full album. If you're interested in early electronic bleep bloop music, give this one a listen. Oh, hell yeah, commercials to copy. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And check out that cover. I don't know if I've seen this one before, but it's awesome. It's also got advanced double coding technology for high output audio and video, so I guess that's good. It doesn't say better quality, it specifically says high output, and I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
Cicerelli, no.
Okay, well, these isn't commercials, these are hockey. It appears to be some sort of coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm not super into hockey, so I have no idea if this is a good game or a bad game. They do get into a couple of fights, but like a lot of hockey fights that I've seen, they're pretty heavy on the grappling element. So it's just something that's more exciting in person, I feel like. Another fun moment from one of these games is when someone in the stands empties out their drink on the coach and gets escorted out of the stadium. Hilarious. Another thing that piqued my interest is this bored-sounding host who sat in a shockingly simple set. I love it.
Meanwhile, at the Met Center, the North Stars and Red Wings doing battle with Minnesota leading in the series. These highlights are brought to you by Menon.
Also, his name is Bob Papa. What an awesome name. Every time they cut to him, he's turned around watching the TV. It's like I'm interrupting his stories or something. And then when he's done with his broadcast, he turns back to the TV like he's gonna watch along with me. I love it. There are some commercials on this tape, though, so let's check those out.
This is a remarkable chemical called bomblin. How remarkable? Bomblin's protection is critical to the space shuttle during the rigors of launch and re-entry. It won't boil at 600 degrees or freeze at 100 below. It protects the Taj Mahal from damaging airborne pollutants.
Damn, this sounds like some really intense stuff. I wonder what household item needs to be protected as much as a space shuttle or the Taj Mahal.
And now that same extraordinary protection is available for your car's finish.
Oh. Oh. Since these broadcasts have been filled to the brim with the manly sport of hockey, it's only natural that the ad breaks are full of manly ads, largely revolving around the world of cars.
So where would you put a cockpit like this? In a rocket, of course. Introducing Achieva by Oldsmobile.
Modern car commercials are pretty boring, but if you go back far enough, they become borderline fascinating. It's so cool seeing cars with such simple designs being promoted as cutting edge. Like, does Oldsmobile even exist anymore? I have no idea.
Iron Mike on rust. I hate rust. Iron Mike on tough. This is tough. Rust tough. This is rust. Oleum? The dictionary defines tough as strong. Definition of oleum is
Oh, hey, look, it's live footage of me trying to understand what a superconductor is.
You want tough? What do you want? Oleum. Got rust? Get tough. Rust tough.
Along with the car and rust commercials, I also found a Sprint commercial advertising their latest and greatest phone card.
It'll deliver a message for you, even to someone whose line is busy. Lets you set up your own three-way conference calls. Info hotline lets you check stocks, weather, sports.
I also found an advertisement for the 1976 Olympics for some reason. Like, it's not saying tune in to the upcoming Olympics or anything. It's more like, hey, remember those 1976 Olympics? Strange. Honestly, not the most exciting block of commercials ever, but we've got more tapes in this episode, so don't fret. Also, I've saved my favorite commercial from this block for last, so let's check that out.
Let's take off our sneakers and get comfortable.
Uh-oh, sneaker odor.
Let's go to the movies.
Tame ferocious sneaker odor with sneaker tamers from Odor Eaters.
There's something strange about the idea of a guy whose feet stink so bad that he never takes his shoes off. Seems like a compounding problem, doesn't it?
Sneaker tamers absorb sweat, destroy sneaker odor, guaranteed for the life of your sneakers.
No more sneaker odor.
Sneaker tamers from Odor Eaters.
A lady loves nothing more than to watch her man taking a big whiff of his nasty sneaks before they cuddle up right next to him. That's true love right there.
Hey kids, how would you and 70 of your friends like to spend the day at the ballpark to see the A's play?
There is a lot of hockey on this tape. A lot of hockey. And unfortunately, the commercial breaks that are sprinkled throughout the games largely repeat the same handful of ads, so I'm just gonna fast forward a bit. After sitting on your couch all day, drinking your beer, and watching all that hockey, it might be a good idea to get up and move around a bit. At least I think that's why after all the hockey, they recorded Richard Simmons sweating to the oldies. Also, you can really tell that this tape is hurting. It's likely that this was recorded on the lowest quality so that they could fit all that hockey on there, but I think it's time for me to utilize my time-base corrector. This is a device that intercepts the video signal from the VCR and attempts to stabilize it by syncing the time base. Okay, I don't actually know how it works, but it allows me to watch tapes that are too degraded to watch through the VCR alone, albeit at a loss of video fidelity. And boy, oh boy, am I glad that I decided to sync the time base, because after Richard Simmons comes a televised production of Peter Pan from 1960, starring the late, great Mary Martin, who you might recognize from the 1960 televised production of Peter Pan.
Never grow up. Not me. Not me. Not me. Not me. No, sir.
This is just excellent. Once I saw that the family dog was played by a guy in a fursuit, I knew I had to stick around and watch.
What in
Oh, my knee,
Oh, my knee. Oh, my knee. Oh, fuck, my knee.
I refuse to allow that dog to lord it over me in my nursery 1 hour longer.
Oh, Father!
Honestly, even with the time-base corrector, this tape is still pretty rough, but I still want to talk about some of my favorite parts, so bear with me for a little bit.
Look at me, way up high, suddenly here am I on fire.
The musical numbers and the special effects were by far and away my favorite parts of this show. Once the wire work started, I was hooked. Even though they just kind of swing back and forth, I don't know, it kind of works. I also know that the tape quality is getting rougher and rougher, but something about the aged tape gives Peter Pan an almost eerie vibe, and I quite enjoy it. It's really fun watching something that's entirely practical effects. Tinkerbell is just a little spotlight, Peter's shadow is just a sheer piece of cloth, and look at these glowing, growing trees. I mean, the lighting is awesome. Also, all the animals are just... what is this? Uncle Nick's Magic Forest? The whole musical has already been archived online if you're interested in checking this one out, and I do recommend it. I'd talk about it some more, but the footage is getting really rough. I mean, I'm doing my best to pick and choose the most intact sections, but I did watch the majority of the show and quite enjoyed it. I'm also happy to report that this section had some commercials, and luckily they were a bit more engaging than the ones we saw earlier.
When you come home feeling a little gruff and growly, a hot bowl of Campbell's soup can make you feel...
Daddy! But what if I don't want to feel daddy, huh? Have you ever thought about that, Campbell? Actually, let's start with the local ads and then circle back to the recognizable brands, shall we?
It's going to be a super Saturday at Nerland's Home Furnishings. Everything in Nerland's vast $1 million inventory will be reduced for super savings.
You know, I feel like old furniture commercials hold the same charm for me as the car commercials do. It's kind of like getting to look into people's house and study their stuff, but, you know, without being a creep about it.
That's Nerland's Super Saturday Sale, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
If you're planning to buy carpet, don't. Not until you've checked out the No Payments Till September sale at Giant Don's Carpet and Design.
I can't say I feel the same way about carpet commercials, though. Carpet just looks like carpet.
Don't miss the No Payments Till September sale at Giant Don's Carpet and Design in the Northern Light Center. Sale ends Monday.
Oh, what a coincidence. Giant Dong is my stripper name. Oh, wait, Giant Don? Okay, never mind.
Just in time for Easter, Sadler's has reduced the price on all our dining rooms and dinettes. You'll find great savings on contemporary Chromecraft dinettes.
Those look like my childhood right there, those chairs. Just look at all this classic wood furniture and those prices, dude, they're insane.
Save on every dining room and dinette now through Saturday at Sadler's. Sadler's, just look at us now.
If you don't feel like spending your Easter at the furniture store, though, there is an Easter service at this local church. But I don't know, for some reason I feel like I might get dizzy if I attended. Might be worth it though, it looks like they actually kill a guy for this production, so that's kind of exciting. Here's an ad for a community services center, which looks like a pretty fun time.
Insights are all we need sometimes to help us turn a frightening situation into one that is manageable.
What do you want to bet this guy's on drugs now? I mean, he said no, but I don't know, it looked like he was kind of thinking about it.
Support Hope Cottage's celebrity games by skating with your favorite celebrities.
And we'll end this segment with an ad for a celebrity ice skating party, though they refuse to name said celebrities, and I don't think I know who these people are, so if you do, please leave me a comment about it. But with those out of the way, it's time for everyone's favorite mystery tape segment, Brands You Know, where we find out what our favorite brands were up to way back in the day. Based on a news bumper that was talking about the Joel Steinberg murder case, I'm gonna guess that these commercials are from around January of 1989. So let's see what was up back then.
They've made Tylenol even better.
The gelatin coating is what makes the difference.
I like the size.
They're super, and they're from Tylenol.
Extra strength Tylenol gel caps. It's not a capsule, it's better.
Well, I love this old product packaging, but just how much Tylenol were these people taking? And why does this guy make me so uncomfortable?
I like the size.
Sunkist, the soda brand, is trying to muscle into the children's vitamin racket.
Presenting Sunkist multivitamins for children. The essential vitamins kids need and the taste kids love. Sunkist multivitamins for children.
Something tells me Fred Flintstone had something to do with this.
When children open a fresh box of Crayola crayons,
they open up their imagination.
Is it just me, or is this Crayola commercial unintentionally encouraging children to draw all over the walls? That's not good.
All the colors of imagination.
Got sparkles in my toothpaste and a starry shape. The name is Colgate Jr. It's got an awesome taste.
Dude, this is dope. It kind of makes me want to go brush my teeth right now, honestly. It has been a couple weeks, but I think I'll just keep watching the tape.
Colgate means it works so fine. Junior means it's mine, oh mine. Fluoride working all the time, so it's fine.
New Colgate Jr. for superstars like you.
Colgate Jr.
That was a really good toothpaste commercial, and I don't know if I've ever said that before about any toothpaste commercial. Do we have any more dental ads to watch? Maybe they were just crushing it back in '89.
We've studied your mouth from every angle.
No, don't study my mouth, okay? I don't give permission for that. In fact, this is how I'm gonna do the rest of the video.
And created a toothbrush with a very special angle, the Reach toothbrush, with a dental angle designed to clean even back teeth better, to get your teeth 51% cleaner than the other leading brush. Reach for 51% cleaner teeth.
Oh, is that what those toothbrushes were all about? I remember the Reach toothbrushes, but I don't think I ever knew that their secret sauce was that the head was at a slight angle. I wonder if that actually made any discernible difference. Now that our teeth are nice and clean, why don't we dirty them up again with some fast food ads?
Introducing the 3 new chicken sandwiches from Burger King.
Il panino italiano di pollo con la salsa marinara e mozzarella. Sono innamorato.
That looks like shit.
Le sandwich français au poulet avec ce jambon et ce fromage suisse.
What does that say? Chicken, ham, Swiss, and uranium? Well, that doesn't sound very safe.
The American chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and American cheese. Let's do lunch.
I don't really understand putting cheese on a fried chicken sandwich. Like, I know that's a thing, but I don't really think that it should be.
Try the 3 new chicken sandwiches from Burger King.
Anyway, these all looked terrible to me, but I do appreciate that the food photography looks a bit more honest than it does in modern times. Burger King is trash can fast food, so that's how it should look on screen.
Cross the road, cross the road, cross the road to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Only one place has the Colonel's original recipe of 11 herbs and spices, and it's just across the road.
Cross the road to Kentucky
Get out of the street, you idiot.
I'm trying to get to Chick-fil-A. Get out of the road.
Move it, dickhole.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, yeah.
All right, guys, lights out.
Okay, Coach.
There's nothing more exciting than a fast break. To Pizza Hut, where exceptional leaping ability, blazing speed, quick inside moves, and dominant height all come into play.
Someone help me out here. Is this a real basketball team being featured in this spot? I want to say it could be the Harlem Globetrotters since they are doing stunts, but I'm not certain. What I am certain about is that this pizza does not look very appetizing, which is probably why we don't get any close-ups.
Picture this, a game with over 70 million prizes, enough for 1 out of 3 people to win. Introducing Scrabble at McDonald's. You can win hot chicken McNuggets, a cool $1 million. Or spell the right word and win a $1,000 shopping spree at Sears.
Okay, I know we don't trust McDonald's to run promotions like these anymore since the Monopoly one was scammed, but I do miss them. Now, they were fun. I tried to find out who won this Scrabble promotion, but I couldn't find much information out there. Kinda seems like it was overshadowed by the Monopoly fraud.
How are you going to get all that stuff home? Oh, I see. Play Scrabble at McDonald's. In a word, you can win.
All right, the last batch of commercials are all food related. I guess most of them have been food related so far, but you know, Americans gotta eat.
It's 10:52 and time for an early midnight snack.
Like, especially at night, I can eat a Snickers and then I can concentrate. Snickers gets rid of my hunger and my mind is on my studying.
Kinda sounds like they're marketing Snickers bars as a performance-enhancing drug, but I guess they still kinda do that thing today. The argument is that you're not yourself when you're hungry, which I get, but You can eat anything to stop hungry. It doesn't have to be a Snicker.
Snickers bar. Fresh roasted peanuts, peanut butter nougat, peanuts, caramel and milk chocolate. Peanuts, peanut butter nougat, caramel and milk peanut.
It's just good.
Packed with peanuts, peanut butter nougat, peanuts, caramel and milk peanut butter nougat, caramel and peanut butter peanut. Snickers really satisfies.
Oh, no vegetables yesterday, honey.
No time.
I enjoy this V8 commercial that illustrates diet imbalance by having a guy walk around all tilted. My only note is that I wish when he drank it, he'd slowly straightened up instead of doing a cutaway, but still a pretty good concept.
When you can't get to eat vegetables, you can drink them. One delicious glass of V8 juice provides a serving of vegetables.
Excuse me, this Raisin Bran's Kellogg's.
So?
Well, it's got 2 scoops.
So?
Well, I don't deserve something this special.
Why not?
Well, I haven't done anything good enough to deserve the 2 scoops of Kellogg's. So just give me the ordinary stuff.
You must have done something good.
Nope.
All right, before we watch the last commercial of this block, I just want to remind you all that these ads ran during a broadcast of a Peter Pan musical, all right? This one in particular ran a number of times. All right, right off the bat, I don't need to know about Peter Pan's nut. TMI.
I'm a Peter Pan nut. I admit it. Why else would I be standing here in the middle of the night? I dream of peanut butter sandwiches. I can't go 10 minutes without that creamy, delicious Peter Pan. Oh.
No. You better watch out for this guy, Peter.
Creamy, delicious Peter Pan.
Did you know it doesn't have any cholesterol? Did you know it's 3 in the morning? Eat some peanut butter anytime you can, but only if it's Peter Pan.
Really creepy, really odd, really unsettling. I loved it a lot. All in all, the Peter Pan segment was really great. It was one of the best things to come out of this box of tapes for sure. So, now let's check out one of the worst. This tape, titled June 92 Conference, seems to have been recorded around the time that I was 1 year old. I don't know if that's interesting to anybody, but I said it anyway.
The factories came over from the Westland, and all the leading scientists, maybe myself, now we have to take place on our chairs for the new people which came over.
Suddenly that earlier video presentation about technology seems way more interesting. At least I could actually hear the guy hosting it.
And for which there was 10,000 of people peaceful on the roads with candle only.
These presenters aren't using any kind of microphones, they're just yelling out into the crowd, and I have no clue what they're saying. In fact, I can hear someone in the crowd cracking open a soda more clearly than I can the actual speaker.
By the Ministry of Education, Science and Culture.
I tried really hard to decipher what the theme of these speeches were, but all I really understood was that they were talking about various different countries. Whoever filmed this tape could really have benefited from watching that first film tips tape that we started the episode with. Another super cool cover on this one, though once again it's a brand mismatch. Maxell brand cover, Fuji branded tape. Superconductivity above liquid nitrogen temperatures. Yeah, this will be really interesting, I bet.
After a homogeneous starting powder is obtained, the mixture is placed in an alumina oxide, or alumina, crucible.
Yo, I still don't get this. How many tapes have I watched about superconductivity today? And I still don't get it. It definitely has something to do with resistance and temperature, but that's all I really understand. Was this really a box of tapes for high school students to watch? Why don't I know this shit?
With a little imagination, you can find a variety of ways to entertain yourself with some of the remarkable levitation effects associated with the Meissner effect.
I can't wait for my comment section of this video to be filled with geniuses explaining superconductivity to me. I promise I'll read them and then I'll finally be a scientist. I said that sentence real good. And with that, it's time to say goodbye. I didn't cover every single tape from the trash box, but I am ready to wrap this episode up because it's gotten a bit bigger than I anticipated. Maybe we'll talk about those remaining tapes in the next one, but no promises. I got a lot of tapes. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm really enjoying exploring my non-food formats right now, though there are some more food videos in the works. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please consider checking out the rest of the Mystery Tape series. This is episode 8, so as of now, there are 7 other episodes chock full of VHS goodness for you to check out.
I can't go 10 minutes without that creamy, delicious Peter Pan. Oh,